Hello, my name is Cody Scott, and I am an applicant for the field representative position. I have a varied background of all sorts of different experience. I've been working since I was 16, and I've been working for schools, boys and girls clubs. I've worked for raising funds for different charities and organizations that help out youths. I have been a history teacher most recently. And for that position as a history teacher, I worked for a private Christian school. While there, I was hired a week before school started, and I had to kind of figure everything out on my own. I created my own curriculum, created my own sort of standards that fell in line with Indiana state standards. And I kind of won it, but it actually turned out really well because I was voted best teacher 2 years in a row, both years I was there. So I used my own mind as the primary material. The textbook was supplemental material, and kids learn. Kids have a new passion for history. I have many families that can vouch for the way I taught and the impact I made in their students' lives. So I'm actually recording this right now to tell you a little bit about my testimony. So as a Christian, I feel like looking back over my entire life, I'm 27 years old. I feel like as a child, as a small child, I was attracted to the light. I was attracted to good and pure things. Now, that's not out of the norm for a lot of children. But I had an interesting relationship with God early on. Now, I'm not a Quaker. I'm actually non-denominational. I don't believe in like an inner light, but I believe I was attracted to the light. There was a lot of pull to God and his kingdom and taking him seriously from the start. Over the years, as I grew up, going through middle school and high school, it was one of those, I attended church with my family in service. I didn't do youth group. I didn't do, unless a friend invited me. Otherwise, I was Sunday in the sanctuary, listening to the senior pastor give a message. So I feel like, in a way, there were some things I did out of faith because my parents did it. Truly, my faith wasn't my own until late in high school, until probably my senior year. My senior year of high school, I was in a very serious relationship, and that fell apart. Really thought that was going somewhere at the time. The Lord had other plans for me. And also my papaw got sick. My best friend, my papaw got sick, had some sepsis, and he passed away January of 2011, my senior year. So that's the first time I saw a miracle. And the miracle I saw was while my papaw was in a coma, we had a nurse and a doctor visit us and tell us that he's not going to make it through the night. And he actually survived for at least 3 more days, if I recall correctly. It was 3 more days, and that to me was a miracle. A miracle is not always something that comes out, and it's this overwhelming push for your wants and your desires. Truly, it's working out the desires God has placed in your heart, and there's a difference. It's cutting away the slab to bring about the artwork underneath. So, so that was my definition of a miracle, that my papaw, denying science, denying medical professionals, survived for another couple of days. From there, I picked up a Bible on my own. First book I read fully on my own was Matthew. From Matthew, I went to Romans. Voila! You don't know this, but actually one of the abilities and skills I offer is teleportation. Now, I don't know about you, but the person you're looking for a field representative is perhaps someone who can teleport, okay? Now, in all seriousness, I'm going to continue my story. So, so I ended up going to IU Bloomington. It's a secular school. While there, I was challenged, ridiculed for my faith. And I even found myself in a dark time where I isolated myself entirely to the point where I would only go out to eat or go to class. And actually the times I actually left class, or excuse me, left my dorm to go eat were less and less. My freshman year, I actually starved myself. They say there's the freshman 15 that you gain. Currently, I'm not displaying that body of me starving myself, but I did in fact starve myself. I went from 168 to 145. And I was just in a very dark place. But through that, I got involved in campus ministry. Ended up meeting my ex-wife there. I have a 3-year-old son out of that marriage. I live in Fort Wayne currently. And actually, the roads have been very windy for me. I've been challenged a lot. I've been challenged in places where I work, secular. I worked for Amazon.com, and I worked in a warehouse where within the first 12 days of my employment, I was offered a promotion as ambassador, where I taught new hires the ropes and taught them the culture of the company. So I busted my butt. I busted my butt hard, and I made friends. There were jealousies because I was new and I got a promotion right off the bat. Smoothed those things over, made friends. And honestly, the best experience I have with people is if they aren't religious and have a stick up their butt. And I'm just going to be point blank honest with you right now. Because after Amazon, I was hired by Mooresville Christian Academy, and there was petty drama stirred up. I'm going to be completely honest with you. But families came out and spoke on my behalf, because not only was I the fun teacher, but I was also one who improved test scores. It was emphatically proven that in my tenure at Mooresville Christian Academy, test rates went up in history, both as a subject within the school and also for the school compared to public schools and other private schools south of Indianapolis and around the Indianapolis area. So I am someone who I believe has found a fair balance between fun and seriousness. I can be that goofy guy who just tells you about teleportation, but I can also get back to work. And I think it's very important. For one, you always put people before programs. You establish a relationship. Relationships and connections, people come first. Once you have the people on your side, once you have people in a neutral place of understanding, the doors are unlimited. You can move mountains through people just by listening to them and taking time with them. I've learned that 100%. And actually, most recently, I've started a Facebook group called American Discourse. I love America. God bless America. And we talk about history. We talk about social issues. We talk about political issues. And I literally, today, I had another interview. I kid you not, hand to God. And I turned them down. It was not the right position for me. But I made friends with the owner who interviewed me and another worker there. They're now my Facebook friends, and they are now invited to my American Discourse Facebook group. Because my passion is to connect people, to tell them the truth of the Bible, and to tell them the truth about our American origins. Because we did, in fact, 100% start out as a Christian nation. But I digress. I'm actually here to give you a testimony. So more about me is, yes, so I went through a divorce. It was filed against me, and went through that process. Currently, I'm actually engaged, set to marry in September to my lovely fiance, Shay Brown. And we were actually living south of Indianapolis, and we both agreed that the best route for me was to get me closer to my son, August, who is up in Fort Wayne, where we are currently. So the doors opened where I left my job at Mooresville Christian Academy. We made arrangements, and we had an apartment by March 1st of 2020, and we have been up in the Fort Wayne area ever since. And now I have more time with my son, and I see fathering him as hugely important to both my soul and his. And just looking to be the man who always stands for values, character, is transparent with others, is able to have conflict but never hate, That's something I truly 100% believe in and people don't understand anymore. And I am just someone who wants to build bridges, but I want to build bridges sincerely, transparently, and I believe that's how meaningful change is brought about. So I worked as a youth director in a church. I've been a youth minister, and I've just got a background in ministry that stretches back for 8 years now. It's 2020. Yep. So I'm looking for the right position, and I'm wondering if you guys have it. And if you guys can let me know more about this position, if somebody could reach out to me, let me know how these things go, I would very much appreciate it. So you guys take care. Happy 4th, and God bless. Thanks.